about all this, but I hope I can do a very quick drawing of my Dungeons and Dragons character, because I think we need a full body one. I think that's what was happening. Anyway, I'm switching to the horizontal now. You're saying the German forces were on a standstill with Russia? Okay. It's written by the victors, there's that. And then here we are on the horizontal. Where are the Latinas indeed? So half of my group project was Latinas, and then the target audience for the fictional product that I was supposed to market in the marketing class, the target audience also turned out to be Latinas. And so that worked out pretty well, I want to say, or it could have. You said, where were we? Well, for some reason, World War II. I'm gonna look up the stuff. Colby is asking me if I want a chicken adobo quesadilla. Okay, yes, but I can't be by until like a little after 10:30. Wait, no. Yeah, 3:30. Okay, that was the entire text to speech. I'm narrating stuff. And sending all of my okay. Hello people. You're still so sad you didn't go with the pubes version. Dude, 7 out of 10 of the professor's notes about things we did wrong that got us a B grade, which was the lowest in the class at the time for the presentation. 7 out of 10 of them were about things that I specifically did. So we were already insane on the amount of things going messed up. Someone's meowing here. Hello. Okay, you're saying you're sad for the pube, sad because butt hair wasn't even considered it. A butt hair is a pube. What are you saying? What are you saying to me? A butt hair is a pube. Okay, you're saying we were talking about good guys and bad guys during war, and well, you don't think there's a good guy or a bad guy. You usually also think World War II is one of the exceptions in which there was a good guy and a bad guy. That's probably. I hope that there's a time where I'm gonna have the capacity and a good time to think about philosophical things such as that. It's not right now for me personally, but yeah. You're asking I'm gonna draw D&D, and you're talking about Latinas. Latinas. Oh my god. Okay. Yes, Shadow the Hedgehog is known for being Latina enthusiast. Okay. Oh my gosh. Some kind of thing is happening. Okay, I'm gonna find my reference images of my character, but then also pose references. We need something like full body, head to toe. You're saying you wouldn't call the US the good guys, but you would call the Germans the bad guys for sure. Yeah, there you go. And then Williams is saying there's a very important distinction, but what can I expect from somebody who always avoids the important discussion topics? You want me dead. You want me dead. You're out here distinguishing between a pube and a butt hair. Ugh. There is no difference. You can't make there be a difference. This isn't true. This isn't real. This can't be happening. There's no distinction between a pube and a butt hair. I'm not going mad. Okay. You're saying, have y'all ever seen the meme where it's like when you're on a date with a baddie, but you hear from a table behind you, if only Hitler didn't invade Russia during the winter. Holy shit. The. Big sneeze. And then the point of the meme, right? The point of the meme is that there's an acceptable person to punch and also perhaps, I don't know, kick and whatever in the restaurant behind you, and it's a rare opportunity. There's someone for punching and kicking, and it's distracting you from the baddie because it's a rare opportunity that you get to punch and kick people. Please. Okay, you're saying it's been a while since you saw the orc, and guess who finished this years-long D&D campaign? You're very emotional right now. Oh my gosh, how did the ending go? You cried a bit during the session. Everyone was very emotional, and you played for 5 hours straight. Oh my goodness, the good stuff. Yeah, I really hope that I have a proper location for the session tonight, because I thought I supposed that there would be one, but also I supposed it would be in like a new location that Mia and the DM haven't like been to together, especially for Dungeons Dragons purposes. Here we are in a very blank canvas. I want to specifically look up goat movie characters, and then one of them's a puma, right? One of them's an awesome thing. Maybe there's not so many. Maybe there's not so many of them. Okay, is this puma named Jet? I think maybe. Jet from the goat movie. That seems like a really awesome shape to base the full body drawing of this character off of. Hello. Yo! Fun characters are happening. What's happening here? A fun character, in fact. And then you're saying, bless you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. And the three are just you. You're the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Do you pay thrice as much rent because you're 3 people? Wait, that's not how that works necessarily. Oh. They say Bitchler, can't say his name or you'll be censored. Wanted to be Napoleon, and like Napoleon, his efforts died in the Russian winter snow. Okay. You're saying that the session ending ended great, and the villain was defeated last week, and this was the epilogue. Oh, love a good epilogue. Kind of tying the loose ends and having a bit of fun for the characters one last time. I really wonder about writing down more stuff for my character, because I had a lot of stuff that I just sort of supposed and didn't write down, and then I hope that it all works out and is put together. And then Crystal Palm was saying, you just finished drawing this character on the screen right now in a different magnet canvas where people make fan arts of their OCs, of other people's OCs. Okay, that's fun. Yay! That's very fun. Okay, I want to decide on a pose for this really quick, and then also compare it to the existing art that I had. Art of the original characters. Original character, do not steal. Character sheets. It's the last place I put some image on my phone. Okay. And then hopefully this, you know what, I do like the most dynamic pose. There's not a lot of the wow. Oh, that's someone's fan art. So if I want to find more dynamic poses, I shall keep looking, huh? And then you're saying you got an idea that combines your D&D ideas with your previously mentioned ideas. Draw orc chiefess with her throne, surrounded by her femboy elves with harem with big ears. Wow, thought that was gonna be big ears because of the elves, but that's something. Okay. I'll be really lucky if I finish one sketch. Ooh, okay, wait, maybe Raya and the Last Dragon has some proportions. Raya and the Last Dragon characters. Yeah, Namari. Do I have concept art? Apparently, when I look up Namari from Raya and the Last Dragon, the second suggested Google search is Namari and Raya kiss. For am I being targeted? Am I being targeted here? Wow. Okay, a lot of these are good concept arts. There's a lot of single arm things. Man, so the muscles are freaking awesome, but what can I do? Okay, what else is happening here? We had to keep retyping rear differently because it kept getting censored. It's been so fun to see the players meet with the friends they met along the way, hug their families. Only 2 had parents that were alive. Whoa! And they get to see them in the epilogue too, the privilege. Whoa. And had statues made of them and told their stories for centuries. Whoa, an epic adventure. They're saying, not gonna do it, it's okay, don't have to if you don't wanna. What I specifically want to do is a full body image of the Dungeons and Dragons character. If I have time for a singular femboy elf, that would be remarkable. We could use the clone tool. We can copy paste. Yeah. I think that was how much I would have time for. Okay. And then and then YouTube users is talking about the power you have, and then Colby talking about the character designs are the only thing you liked about that movie. I'm still starry-eyed about the character designs and perhaps the world concept a little bit, but oh my gosh, so many ways it could have been an all-time classic, and it feels like they just chose not to do that several times over. And then the CIA is currently hitting Shara with an energy weapon through the wall. Is there a sound? Oh lord. Okay. And then Mithner is saying, what'd you think of the movie, Raya and the Last Dragon? Yeah. Okay, you like the fan arts and writing, but you mainly liked how they use Southeast Asian culture, but I think it could have been done better. Yeah, I like the bare basic part of it's gonna be really nice for kids to grow up with a movie where here's someone who looks like them, and that's great. I think that's very lovely. That might have been part of what attached me to Mulan growing up. That and the not feeling at home in feminine societal constructs and stuff, right? So I'm glad for it from that perspective. And I mean, for that reason, it made me a little bit sad to see this multi-author, multi-hour video essay breakdown about how watered down the Southeast Asian cultural representation in the movie is, because because I still feel like on a child level, probably a kid's gonna find some value in it, but I suppose the facts are that it's a corporate piece of art, and there's good things to be found in it, and other things that could have been better, of course. Alright. Da, 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 da. Specifically want some Raya and the Last Dragon concept art. I totally thought there would be more dynamic poses in here, because that's the main thing I'm trying to find. Maybe if I just like look up dynamic poses or something like that, maybe it'll give me something to work with, because I'm trying to go a little bit fast, honestly. You're saying you hate the weekdays so much it's gonna be summer and you won't even get to rest since you're no longer a student. Dang. Is the art of a wizard or perhaps a hat called Squish on the screen any comfort? I know this it's an overarching sort of life sort of scheduling sort of problem, but I have hopes that small things can make things better, perhaps. Okay, what was I looking for? I'm looking for a dynamic pose. A reference of something. And if possible, can I find dynamic poses of people totally ripped or something? Well, that would be a totally specific other search. I am adoring whatever's going on with this character right now, honestly. Okay. And then Pumbafo given a warning that the chat is frozen. Did I mess it up? Perhaps. We have a secondary thing where we scroll to the bottom. Let's go. Let's click on that to the very bottom. And hopefully this goes. Yeah, now I can see. Yeah, wow, I guess that froze for a while. Mashism official says hello, you're back. And then, okay, yeah, the last thing I saw was that you hate weekdays and it's so hot that it sucks. And Myth Nerd talking about how in Raya you didn't get to explore the tribes as much. And then talking about Mulan, how it could be a trans allegory, some fun times. And then you're saying it's a good intro into the culture, but should not define it as a whole. And then you're saying one of your favorite movies is Nimona. I think it was another company's thing and got sold to Netflix at the last moment. It's so good. Yeah, some real art in Nimona. And then you're talking about expanding your fantasy world, Nimona, with the Myth Nerd. Alright, there we go. You can physically feel your PC hitting up. Oh my goodness. There's a little wizard being drawn here. Alright, it looks like the chat on this particular window stays the same size, no matter what. So let's scoot this over a little bit. and see what I can find. Maybe an 80s warrior. But like a Pulp Fiction book cover. Maybe if I take away 80s, or if I add Pulp Fiction onto the okay, I mean, that does give some fun poses finally at that level of specificity in my search. But, is not entirely the vibe. And you're saying your fantasy world is gonna start with a love story between an orc chiefess and a human and branch out from there. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And you're saying you've been obsessing over these web novels these days. You've read too much. You're 2,000 chapters read in a week, and so you still want more. Nice. And then Williams is saying, you don't feel like yourself today. Too many days out of the Saint suit. You'll do something you haven't done in a long time. You're gonna draw a waifu. Oh my gosh. Hello. It's waifu announcement. It's waifu time. I still remember the legendary orange design. There was an orange. How nice. How incredible. Alright. The what's waifuing around these days? My gosh. Scoot this over. You're saying, have I ever watched Scarface from start to end? I haven't even watched a little bit in the middle. Alright. Let's see what I can do. I think I'm just going back to the initial pose. Wow. There's some really great, things I've found about all this. Okay, hopefully I can sketch something out. I feel doubt about my art today. I mean, I know I come here and I feel doubt and I say so a lot of the time, but I feel it specifically more than usual today. Okay, wanting a sketchy brush about this, and sort of a textured kind of a brush. Alright, I did like a pencil. Yep, that level of grit on it. We'll put that a little bit down. And then you're saying, okay, Jaro and each chapter have the chance to give me one random emoji and you'll mix them all. Oh yeah. It's the time. It's the moment. Let's do it. I'm putting myself up on my own phone right now so I can have all of these emojis appear. Okay. One random emoji. I think I'll just choose that by scrolling and then picking one with my eyes closed. Did anything? I don't know. Okay. Scroll a little here, scroll a little there. Bop, beep, bop, boop. Something new there? Ah, okay. Well, I've tapped on two of them, but hopefully this goes somewhere, right? There we go. Everything is waifu in. I shall say it with no other explanation. Okay. Let's get this pose. And maybe it's like this. And the head is like this. Was it tilted down slightly? Tough to tell. Or looking to the side at all? Also tough to tell. It should probably be a little bit larger. You got a heart for you specifically, and you say which one? Light bulb. Light bulb. If I'm picking one, you know, I'll give you two just in case, you know. And then you're saying your eyelids are trying to act like you're sleepy. And Mythnerd is saying, Charlotte, did I read the comment? And your comment was, you have a funny joke you're thinking of putting in. You haven't written anything, it's just ideas right now. Want to hear it. Oh, well, if you can get it past whatever censorship usually afflicts you, then you should type it, because participating is the spice of life in I don't know, chats and things. Okay, what else have we got? A little bit like this, and I hope I can get some proportions on this right, because then it will be very cool. Okay. Well, you know, I've put the bathtub emoji. YouTube user Sadie Williams. If you need another one, I gave extra just in case. But everyone contribute to this character. It shall truly be the other spice of life, other than the one that I just said. Yeah, more than one spice of life. Okay, so we're having some maybe very huge arms. And this is what's happening. And the arms are huging, dare we say. But then let's go ahead and say that the hair is kind of snatched. Yep. And maybe it's going like this. And there's an ear out here. I don't know. I should think through the shape of the ear a little more. Whoa, you put the epic face. That will surely brighten up the sort of thing. What is Pumbafo gesturing about? Being all over the face of my character. What are you gesturing about? What is that? Something happening here. How could this be not working again? A second time. This is bonkers. Okay. So you're saying you love animals so much. And then I'm not getting a double portion because we're only parasocial friends. And you've been watching a guy who has a lot of different animals and loves all of them. But he has to feed them with bugs, so you never look at them. Okay, so the chat is working. Was it messed up for a second? Okay. And then let's have some severe eyebrows. I don't know, they could be more severe. And then wrinkle the nose a little bit. And then have some kind of a face happening. I don't know. We'll figure something out there. We probably need more chin. He's saying the waifu got to give your wisdom. And then you're saying, is it frozen again or did you get censored again? Well, from the look of it, it wasn't frozen. Okay. Okay. Reconstruct that chin a little. Well, that wasn't too much of a difference, but maybe it's something. And it's also at an angle. Okay. And then with drawing a pointed ear, sometimes for reference it's good to start with a round ear and just sort of grow outward from there. I think I'm putting more square shapes in the hairline too. That makes sense to me. Oh, Nerd Burp appeared. Hello, Nerd Burp. Well, I don't think your profile picture is a cat. And let's see if I can adjust the eyeballs. I really hope I can get done everything that I mean to do today. And Nerd Burp is asking, why is your thing a cat? What the hell? I see. I mean, it doesn't look like a cat to me. Draw the entire face. Erase the entire face. There it freaking goes. Because I want it to match the already established vibes. Did I give a tooth? I gave a single tooth. Okay, the vibes. And there's... okay, that's closer to my character. I'm thinking all my thoughts, but I do like hearing about what's on people's minds. You're asking if you got muted. Nerd Burp is specifically sending me an image. Oh, okay. So on Nerd Burp's screen, the profile picture is a cat. I mean, luckily, whoa, okay, now I see it now. But it looked normal, it looked normal on my screen. Perfectly normal. Let's look up other pictures of characters. Worf, perhaps. Maybe the teeth? Okay. And then hopefully I've created a very warrior sort of a face. Dude, there's some kind of giraffe here. I'm sorry, giraffe. I didn't know. Oh my god. The true benefits. Ooh, and little creatures are appearing in the corner of the screen. That's high quality. High quality. There's bug people. Giraffe by Crystal Palm. That's good stuff. And Miss Nerd is saying you're not going to be able to say it. That's okay. I guess it's fate. Better give it up. There's another day. There's a new dawn. There's other ideas that are gonna be out there. It's gonna be alright. Alright, so here's more of this, and big arm, and there's one head length away from the top of the knee, because I'm trying to do a very dynamic pose. And is this thigh about the same width as the head? Sure. It's about that much. There we go. And Williams is back. Hello, Williams. I see you've totally randomized your name on the magma today. Let's see if I can create this sort of a leg. Okay. I don't know if I decided on what thing. You're asking if I want you to erase the hand. Sorry, I am sleepy. Let's totally take a picture of it with the hand. Because although I'm trying to complete a full body sketch for Dungeons and Dragons tonight, although there is that, the image that's happening right now is super worthwhile. Okay. Okay, so there's something like that. And I suppose the knee goes out here. And the leg goes out here. And the foot, dare we say, the grippers, are also here. And that's all of the shapes. Oh, that's awesome. And then there's a smaller take on this. Here's a foot, and then also into the foot there's a leg, and then in the reference image there's like more overlap and stuff. More overlap, more angling inward. This is a fun picture. Saved right up in there. Okay, but now that that's saved, I shall in fact tilt what I've got with the arm so far to try to adjust that business. Tilting this way. And okay. And then and then hopefully the leg is gonna make sense. And then Myth Nerd is saying, my joke was basically your human character telling his ex-boyfriend, because he and his orc lover are both bisexual, that her fingers are better than his. Probably very funny, Myth Nerd. Thanks for almost sharing that. Alright, here's another one. A bit sad that I didn't get to stream or anything like that on Kai's birthday, Star Wars Day. although those are two separate things, technically. Okay, how can I make this look very elongated? Without looking very, I don't know, weirdly proportioned. I have such high hopes for not making this look weirdly proportioned, but I don't know if I can achieve them. I was hopefully just putting everything in the right place. Like, what's one head length down from this? One head length down. Can put part weight into this. Some of that. I like my character a lot so far, but hope that I can do right with some cool art. Okay. Wonder if I shall use all of this. But yeah, I find myself trailing off a lot, and when there are things that I could say, and okay, Magdella has gone off to cuddle. I'm catching up in the chat a little. Has gone off to cuddle, and perhaps even be asleep and things. That's a worthwhile pursuit, dare I say. And you're saying, how do you get into D&D in college? Oh, well, if you're lucky, there might be a group or club about it. But, the way that I've gotten into D&D while also being in college at the same time was getting to know a lot of people who were maybe likely to show up, and asking them if they would ever be into this sort of thing, and then out of all of the people that I met, I found one person who also wanted this to happen and DM, and two people that I knew for whatever reason. What color did I have going on? Oh my gosh. I feel very silly that, after this long, after a pause from streaming and stuff, I come back all tired and everything. I guess it has been a long week. I was very sad about the group project, even though objectively a lot of good things happened with it as well. I put on a wig for the group project. Okay, let's put some hair maybe. Maybe it's easier to start with some hair. It was very dark. You're saying you've never played D&D but want to try. And what's your D&D OC name? I've named her Stamos. Stamos. Am I adding bangs maybe? That could be kind of fun. At first I was going with the name Alara. Perhaps it's too basic though. Wow, that sure is some tones of brown hair. It got a little bit greenish. There we go. We want a little bit less greenish in the hair. And you're saying, what's her backstory? Oh, I wasn't sure how my character's backstory, how well, it could fit with the setting and premise. Because I knew that they were supposed to, our group was supposed to be a bunch of people tasked with exploring a mysterious island, right? I wasn't sure if the first session would cover, like, how they got into it or anything. Okay, let's get that. But, so I wanted for her backstory to be that she owes some money to some dangerous people, because I feel like that's a fun one. That's a real adventurer's story type of thing to start out with. Okay. And maybe this is a tiny bit shorter. Owe some money to some dangerous people, and then I got my little brother to join this campaign too. And we were like, whoa, what if our characters could be siblings also in the game? Because then that would give us something to roleplay from. But then he also wanted to be a homebrew sort of stone golem construct sort of thing. And so the way to be siblings, if I'm a half-orc and he's a stone golem, is that my dad made this dude. I'm hoping that okay, in my head I've pictured that my orc character's dad is kind of a lame ass and technically owes her enough money to buy a house. And so when she sees a construct that's like, whoa, I know who made you, and it's my long lost father, then she can go after that construct and be like, are there any hints to the enormous amount of cash that he owes? And then me dipping out to avoid character spoilers. It's tough to tell how much of it is like a spoilers. I don't fully understand. Okay, let's put some. I do like putting angles in some hair. That it's blowing around wildly. Okay, I should probably set a timer so I don't take too much time before going on my errands. Is it 15 minutes? I think it's 25 minutes. 25 minutes, dare we say. 25 minutes. Okay, probably 20, honestly. I'm trying to be very responsible with my time and things. I'm gonna also stream Sunday night, but I know that's a weird time for people. Sunday night. Okay, I'm trying to have like some stringy hair in here. Oh my gosh. Like from a hormonal perspective, I feel so freaking sad today, but I hope it's still gonna be a good day, despite all of that. Okay. Let's put some hair like this. Because the idea is that it's kind of stringy and greasy, and you're asking if half-dragon people exist in D&D. Are dragons humanoid or animals in D&D? I think the dragons are smart, but also a type of enemy with a bunch of stats, right? There are half-dragons in D&D. I'm not playing one, but they do exist. And hello, Magdala. And hello to Mr. Deadpool. How's your day going? Okay. That's closer to what I want out of the hair. Drawing with the timer, ending the stream in 20 minutes. What I gotta do? You're saying Dragonborn are a thing, or maybe a Thjong. And dragons are intelligent beasts. They can be friend or foe. Goodbye to you, myth nerd. Thanks for stopping by a little. And you're saying there's also Dragonborns that are half dragon and half human. That's pretty cool. Okay. There's all of this. And here's the other shape of the hair. And hopefully that makes sense and all. It feels like a bit of a cop-out to get this far and walk it back a little, but my initial art reference was a little less beefed up. It pains my heart to say it, but I'll match the original art reference a little bit more. I'm sorry about the waifu deadline. We're at 16 minutes now. Okay. Here is all of this, and it means I'm putting a little bit more of hips and things. I feel like I always wish I could have a smoother train of thought. But yeah, I'm excited to explore Shadow the Hedgehog with my girlfriend on Sunday night specifically. Hope the timing works out. I don't know if my mom will wanna be doing stuff into the night, or maybe just the brunch, cause the brunch seems pretty decent. And then this leg is pretty wide. Let's see it. Wide kind of a leg. And then man, I don't know what these proportions are doing differently. I guess it's just a little bit beneath the other foot. I'm trying to think of and maybe recount all of the things that went right with the presentation on Wednesday, even though I'm pretty self-conscious about what went wrong. I got compliments on the Q&A section and on not going over time. That was good stuff. The wearing the wig, where I would wear the wig, that was a pretty last minute decision, but I did roll with it pretty severely. Because I was just bringing a wig to class in my backpack because I had enough room in my backpack for it. Okay, is this what I want out of the shape? Okay, pretty nice. And then maybe the entire legs goes up a little more. Dude. You're saying to put the put the leg back. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. And Magdala is saying you suppose you'll likely not be able to join the stream during Sunday night since you'll either be sleeping or at work. At work probably makes sense. If it's my night, it's your morning or day or something. I think that's that, right? Okay. And now, this is totally a beast and things. Pretty great. But let's match the original art reference a little bit. I'm so sorry. And I'm trying to have an axe, I think. Or other weapon. But I don't know if I will be able to find a really cool holding an axe sort of an image in the next 10 minutes. Okay, you're saying my usual night stream is around like 8 to 9 a.m. for you? Oh my. The very working hours indeed. Okay, so now we've got one large piece of a muscle here, and hopefully the rest of the arm goes outward and like this. But can I make it look correct? I do not know. But people have a lot of fantasy reference poses. It's very useful. I'm glad that people make these. Are you tired? You are tired right now. get your little butt to sleep. And the rest of you. It's... Oh, that was another thing I got to do in the past week. That's the lore to catch up on or something. I got to visit a music festival with my doctor best friend. Wow, that was very cool. And we got to like dance and stuff. Yeah, she originally intended it as a solo trip for the two of us, but then when my mom found out, she booked a hotel room for the entire family. And so that was a very comfortable way to stay and such. But a true solo trip is yet to happen. I think it can happen. I think it will happen. Not quite yet, but traveling with my bestie. And then the get your little butt to sleep is a bit intrusive, and the rest of you. Yeah. Sorry to intrude. Whatever. That's what I've got though. All I've got. So here's a big stick. It's probably a very silly way to hold a big stick. Oh, you're talking about the mother. I mean, I wasn't entirely sure how to make it happen, I suppose. Yeah, finances wise and stuff. So there's some benefits. I think it worked out alright. And it was the first time I got to sleep over with my bestie in a long while. Let's get some kind of great axe in here. Wow. You're saying you think at least, but it is a bit intrusive to invite yourself and all of the family. She looked at what's it called? The lineup for the music festival, recognized the headlining artist and was like, hey, yeah, me and your dad like that artist too. Let's go see it. Okay. So they weren't following for the entire music festival. I got to experience it solo in that way. But yeah. Exciting times. This is probably not the best way to swing an axe, but if you have some kind of super strength, perhaps you do what you want, huh? 4 minutes left in here. Is this anything, I wonder? Let's look at my original artworks. Get a similar green. You're saying cuddling makes you sleepy? Yes, inherently. It's usually like a laying down kind of a thing, yeah? That's a much brighter color than I had on the sheet. It's kind of gray. You're saying you sometimes can't believe it, but your boy found love. You're so happy. Indeed. Okay. 3 minutes left. Have I got anything? Yeah, I suppose the art at tonight's session will just be a large head then. Hello, what's up? I'm gonna get ready to go in 3 minutes, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no look. Finding the last one, so if you see some dark on here.
Okay.
Going to the wrong part, so if you avoid that.
Okay.
You're not recording with anybody, are you?
I'm not what with anybody?
No.
I'm live.
Oh, yeah. So now everybody knows where I'm going.
Well, I don't know how loud it was.
Okay. Anyways, hello live people. No peanut butter today.
Neat.
Anyways, I love you.
Love you, Mama. Mm, 2 minutes, what can we say? We get some hey mom, we get some hello Shadow Mother, and you said happy Mother's Day and sent a flower for 30 jewels. From before what in the world? Oh my gosh. Oh, yep, this is a happy Mother's Day. And William is saying sorry for interrupting your stream. Oh, it's good times. It's good times. Okay, 90 seconds left on the timer. What can happen? What shall we do? You're making the character stick her tongue out. Like some kind of a silly Billy. That's good stuff. Well, it's good to have a little bit of this starter art. Let's look around the canvas for all of this. Is this Minecraft or nah? What the hell? What the hell started happening at the bottom of the screen? Sweet Jesus. Oh my gosh. And then on the top corner of the screen, we've got some bald baddie and and some very cool hair and a dress that reminds me of Tinkerbell. Fun times. And then for the waifu based on some emojis, we had like a rose, we had like a bathtub, I think, and a light bulb. Dude, your art style is consistently so freaking fun. Oh my gosh. I'm putting hearts on the arts, can't forget. It's green today. And what's happening at the top corner? Cool arm accessories or brace or other type of thing is very awesome. And then Colby asking, is it possible to save the file for your drawing and transfer it to an iPad? I am not sure. I do know that I can save the entire canvas as a whole or revisit the thing later. But I mean, timing wise, we'll probably use a representation of just the head probably. Man, it sucks not being a fast drawer sometimes. Alright, and then I gotta zoom in to see details of something. What's happening? This looks like some kind of a cult. Some kind of a... I'm terrified whether it's got to do with the World War II discussion earlier. Sweet Jesus. Oh my gosh. The Well, this canvas has all the makings of something very beautiful indeed. There's a funky buggy wizard, I think. Everybody put around here. Green hearts on everything. And then you think they made a stake? Okay, well at least it's got nothing to do with the World War II discussions earlier. They made a stake. Alright, thanks for tuning in and to this stream. Looks like for the total between this and the last one, we're sort of just under 2 hours, minus a 10-minute sort of a thing. I had really hoped that I would be a little bit faster getting here, so I could stay a little bit longer, but here's what I've got for now. I'm excited to see more of these arts later because it feels like everybody got started on something really cool and perhaps it's part way through, so I'm excited to see more later. Thanks for tuning in. Da, 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 da. There's part of the chat saying please pick you up some kiwis. My goodness. And away we go.